Right, okie dokie. I'm going to show you how to develop a design idea. Let me remind you what the term develop means. When we develop something, we're making changes in order to improve that thing. Now, what I've done so far is I've come up with an initial design idea. I have made a 3D representation of it using cardboard, so a prototype. I've also developed it as much as I can through Sketch, and this is my final outcome. This is my final design idea that I want to make. So in my opinion, I have improved my design as much as possible. So now I'm at the stage where I need to start how I'm going to manufacture, how I'm going to make this product. And that still comes under developing, because you're still improving and possibly changing the idea through the construction techniques that you're going to use. So let me just really quickly run through what this design actually is, so you know. It's for the context of safe and comfortable home, so I decided to design a storage unit to safely hide any valuable items out of sight via a large drawer that can maybe hold a wallet or a phone or jewellery. I've also, for the additional pleasure of the user, added a phone dock which will be connected to a speaker. Now, I've said speaker amplifier because I haven't decided if it's actually going to be an electronic speaker or if it's going to be a non-electronic, so it's something that just magnifies the sound. Like when you put a phone into a cup when it's playing music, it just makes it louder. And then here I've just got a little tray, and that's to keep any loose change or things that you do, little things that might be on your desk. Because I've decided to make it no bigger than a shoebox so that it could fit comfortably in any room and not necessarily be in the way and very visual. Blends in, that's the term I was looking for. So this is my product idea, and in my opinion it's the final design idea. So now I'm going to start thinking about how I'm going to make it, how I'm going to manufacture it. I'm going to start doing that through Sketch. Now, you can lay this information out however you please. I'm just going to show you a suggested way, so you don't have to follow what I do here, but I'm just going to show you what I would do if it was me and my project. So, first things first, this is my brand new page, and in the middle, really quickly, I'm just going to draw an isometric drawing of my final design idea to remind me what it is I'm actually doing and what I'm thinking about making. So really, really quick and rough. Yours would be much better in more detail. You might even have some lovely photographs that you can stick around the page. Choice entirely up to you. I'm just going to label this as my final design idea, again to remind myself. So if we go back to this, I have 4 areas that I need to think about, 4 things that I need to consider with the manufacture. I need to think about the actual structure, so how I'm going to make this box. I need to think about how I'm going to make the drawer, but also how will that drawer go into said box. So I need to think about if I want railings or any components, if it's just going to sit on a base, etc. I need to think about the speaker. So like I said, I've not yet decided if I want to make it with electronic circuits or as a non-electric amplifier. I've got to kind of start thinking about that decision. What I also need to think about is, I've got a phone dock. So at the moment it's just a gap, but how will the phone actually sit inside? So I've got to start thinking about what the inside structure will look like as well. That also is said for the tray. Because the tray, it's a little bit hollow, there's a little gap, but no more than 2 centimeters deep. So I've also got to think about, well, how am I going to do that? Am I just going to have a really thick piece of material, so a big thick bit of maybe plywood on the top, and I'll cut the gaps out, and then for this just put a little bit of MDF behind it? I don't know. And that's what I'm going to explore on this page. So I've kind of aimed to put this in the middle. I've done a really bad job of that, but never mind. And now what I'm going to do around it, I'm just going to start thinking about how I can make certain elements. Now I'm going to start on this side of my page. I might eventually bleed over here, and I might even run out of space sooner than I think and end up going on another 2 or 3 pages. Absolutely fine. Not worried about that at the moment. I'm just worried about getting that information written down. So I'm going to start with the draw first of all. So here I'm just going to draw myself a draw outline very quickly. Now I'm using pen for this, primarily so that you can really see what I'm doing. You might want to use pen or pencil, choice is yours. I'm not adding any other details at the moment, I'm just drawing a box. So, the handle, I've decided I'm going to have a hole for the handle. So I know already that is going to be cut out. So that, almost like a finger grip, and I'm going to add that. Because the idea is I don't want it to have kind of like a dial that someone can hold on to and pull. I'd rather just someone pop a finger in, hook, and then pull it out. I think that's a bit more discreet, so I like that idea. I don't think I want to see any wood joins at the front, so I'm actually going to make this, there you go, the face. I like that idea, so I'm going to have this as the face, and I think because I don't want to see any wood joins at the front, I want to just see this as its own thing. I think I'm going to use dowel joins, which is an invisible joining method to connect the outside to the inside structure. So I'm going to label that as a dowel join. Now if you're sat there thinking, I have no clue what a dowel join is, or I know what a dowel join is, but I don't know how you can make it invisible like that, Google or a vision guide, one or the other. Have a look guys, research. Don't just sit there and go, I don't know how to do that. Go find these things out. And then again, I think I'm going to stick to the fact that I don't really want to see any wood joins around. I don't want to use dowel joins for everything because I know that that's actually quite tricky after a while. It could be quite time consuming and it could be messy, and if things go wrong, I have to undo it all. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a miter join. Now when I say a miter join, that's what you commonly get on photo frames. So it's a 45-degree angle join. There we go. So that's what my draw is kind of going to look like, and I'm going to magnify this down here. So that's a miter join, and then I'm going to label it miter join, and then I'm going to add some notes to say some good things about it, and I'm going to add a note to say maybe one bad thing about it, if I can think of one. And again, I'll use Google or my revision guide to help me with that. So already I've started to think about the overall construction of this drawer, and I've mentioned 2 different techniques. The more techniques you add, the better, just because it shows a good range of subject knowledge. What I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to start thinking about how is this drawer going to go inside this structure. Is it just going to slide in, or does it need rails? That's what I'm going to think about now. And I'm going to draw that down here, actually. I'm going to go this way. So what I'm going to draw at the moment to start with, I'm just going to draw the front of my my box design. I'm going to draw the front. And I'm going to draw the thickness of the material. There we go. To give me an idea. And I'm just hatching this out because I'm not actually deciding how I'm going to make the outside structure of this box just yet, so I don't want to imply that here, so I'm just hatching it out just to make life easier for myself. So as I said earlier, what I could do is I could maybe add rails on the inside, which my drawer would have to have this kind of like area cut out. So what that means is my drawer would have to look like this. Okay. Oh, let's label these. So front view of product, front view of drawer. Okie dokie. Now you're probably sat there thinking, well, hold on a minute. You've just developed your drawer, it's over there, and that doesn't have a thing cut out of it. Hold on, that can't be right. It is right. This is development. I'm suggesting how I might make it. Just suggesting. So although this is my final design idea, I know I'm making this, I'm now starting to suggest how I might make that. And similar to when you develop something through Sketch, or even through a prototype, you're going to have different ideas. So far I am doing the right thing. It's time consuming, don't get me wrong, but it's good. It means that you're showing, again, good subject knowledge because you're showing a variety of techniques. So let's go back to this. I'm looking at this, and already I can tell you I don't like it. I think it's going to be too tricky to make, too tricky for the time that I've got. I also don't like the fact that I'm actually going to be losing space, and the overall construction of this box, it's going to be too tricky / difficult. All right. So I'm not even going to humour that. I'm not going to continue with that idea. But what I could do actually. Haha. New idea. Draw this again. This time though, what if I just add the thickness again? What if I have, instead of these bits coming into the void, into the empty space, what if they're inside the frame or inside the structure? Well, this might be a bit better actually. I like this already. Okay, I like this. And then it means that, I'm running out of space here. So it means that my drawer would actually look like that from before. And then what I could do is I could just glue some wooden rods, or bar, sorry, onto the side so that the rods, or the bar, sorry, slides through those gaps. So if I just put bar, and then this is kind of like the guide of it. So there you go. So that means that it's going to be quicker. Yep, I like this idea. It's going to be more aesthetically pleasing. Forgot to spell that. I remembered. There you go. Nice. Not bad. But yeah, no, I like it. I think it might mean, however, that the outside walls might have to be quite thick. So that is a downer. So what I would do around it is then I would write that negative point. I'd write the fact, well, actually, the outside walls might have to be too thick. And then also, that would add to the weight of it. And I didn't want it to be too heavy. But it's an idea. The other idea is just keep it as a hollow box. And then it just slides in on the base. So draw, slides in on base. There you go. Cool. Yeah. Filled up the majority of a page here, an A4 page. That's fine. Still got a little bit of space here. So in this space, maybe I could start thinking about the actual structure, or I could start thinking about how I'm going to get this tray. But the other thing is, don't forget, if your product or if your design idea has any electronics, you've also got to show how that electronic product would work. So where would the cables go? Where's the on-off switch going to go? Is it going to be a USB or is it going to be a plug outlet? So you need to include all these things as well into your development of how you might manufacture it. So I hope this gives you an idea as to what a development page looks like in regards to manufacturing ideas. The one thing I'm going to leave you with is I have rushed this. I've rushed this for your viewing to reduce the amount of time that I spend on this video as humanly possible. And once I've done that, my work looks quite scruffy. It looks quite messy, let's be honest. I could have spent a lot more time on these drawings. So when you do your work, you will most likely spend a lot longer than me on the actual drawings and the sketches. But if you feel that once you've done all of your developments, once you've filled your page with loads of different sketches and loads of different ideas, and maybe you've scribbled some things out because you've not liked it, don't forget what we can also do is we can take pictures of the page as a whole, or maybe just certain elements, and then we can either take that part and put it on your PowerPoint, or if you want we can try and print it off and then we can stick it on a page and work around it. the choices are endless and the choices are limitless. So don't think, oh, how am I going to lay it out so it's lovely and professional? Don't worry about that. Let's get ideas onto paper and then go from there. We do have time to tweak things and make things look more professional, but for now we need to start getting some ideas down on paper. So I really hope that was useful for you, and happy developing.